Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. We are live and online for today's edition of the Coffee Chat Show. I actually have my shit together this morning. Good morning, everybody. Hello, Tracy. We will give everyone a chance to roll in. Good morning, Dodie. How are you? How is everybody today? It is snowing again in Vermont, if you can believe that. Good morning, Melissa. Oh, it's hard to stay excited and positive when you keep seeing snow out the window. Literally just pouring snow right now. Good morning, Alyssa, Lauren. Hello, everybody. Good morning. Welcome into the Coffee Chat Show. We are live and online for today's episode as the coffee cup turns. Good morning, Julia. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Pouring on Long Island, Melissa says. All right, well, I guess it just is what it is, you guys. This is when you just make up excitement and joy for no reason other than why not? Because, yeah, why not? So this morning, we'll just be excited and vibrant and joyful for no reason other than because we can just make it up. Because that's what happens. You just make it up. Every day, we're just making it up. All right, we're going to start the podcast. So we'll welcome in our podcast folks that'll start listening. Thank you, Dolly. She likes my jacket. Helen. We've got South Africa watching this morning. I think I just saw the Philippines roll in. So we've got all kinds of folks joining us for Coffee Chat. Okay, the good news is I have notes up for March Coffee Chats. They are on the site. Go to revealingleaders.com. Look it. We even made pretty notes that look like workbook pages. Good morning, Jessica. Okay, so go to revealingleaders.com. Good morning, Liz, and you can download our Coffee Chat notes for the month of March. We also, I had our graphics, one of our graphics people create an emotional scale chart that is a Revealing Leaders version. So if you go to revealingleaders.com and you can download the emotional scale. So we created one adapted from everything else that you've probably seen out there. I changed some of the things to be more along the lines of understandable, I think, to people. And so this should help in what we talk about when I say you want to get to the next high, you want to get to a better set point, you want to get to a better emotional level. Now you will understand kind of where you're showing up on the scale. And the goal, right, is always to go one higher. So as you can see, disappointed is lower on the scale than pessimistic or annoyed. So it's like that. If you're concerned or worried, you could become doubtful, and that's a little bit better than concerned or worried. And then disappointed is worse than annoyed. So annoyed is better than disappointed, and so on. And we talk about the emotional scale because I keep talking to you about you are radiating out. What you are radiating out is attracting in, okay? So whatever emotional state or whatever set point you are radiating out at is exactly what you're attracting back to you. So at any given moment, you want to raise yourself, you want to attract better things to your world and to yourself. So the goal is to always be going a little bit higher or attempting to go a little bit higher. Gabby Bernstein calls it choosing the next best thought. And I like that description. So we've been talking about how to create the life that you want versus the one that you're settling for. The whole goal of the Coffee Chat Show is to give you the tools for practical change in your life. And we've been talking about how you radiate out. What you radiate out at is what you attract back in. We have been talking about cleaning the slate and, getting rid of getting rid of what no longer serves you, stuff around you, thoughts, feelings, attitudes, things that are no longer serving you. We've talked about divesting yourself of all that, getting rid of things that no longer serve you, cleaning the slate. Last week, we were talking about creating a vacuum and then creating a definite plan. So as you create that vacuum and create a clean space to bring new good in, you want to get really definite about the plan for your life. Call it a blueprint. That's what we were calling it last week. You want a blueprint for your life. And I suggested last week that you start with 3 to 6 months, whatever you're comfortable with, and writing out very definitely what you want to have happen in the next 3 to 6 months. And we gave you some questions. What are the thoughts, actions, items, situations, income level, outcomes, all of that? What do you want to attract into your life over the next 3 to 6 months? And writing it out like a blueprint. You wouldn't build a house without a blueprint. And consequently, you don't really want to build your life without a plan. A lot of people wait for the circumstances to dictate the plan, and that's actually not the way to go about it. The way to go about it is to make the plan and then start living in how it will feel when that plan comes to fruition. So I suggested that you work with that 15 minutes daily. And that's kind of the recap of our last 3 coffee chats, which, by the way, you can catch all that on revealingleaders.com and also on the Facebook page. So here's the next question. Who you have been has gotten you the results that you have. So whoever you are in your life right now, with the habits that you have and the thoughts that you have and the actions that you take and the things that you do, that has gotten you to the point that you are now. In order to go further, you have to start asking yourself the question, who must you become to get the results that you want? And that's not a question that you'll answer immediately, right? So I encourage you to write down that question. Who must you become to have the life that you want? Who must you become to create the results that you want? Who must you become to create the income level that you want? Who must you become to create the outcomes that you want? There's studies that have been done by, I believe, a Stanford research group, and they found that success is 88% attitude and 12% education. So for anybody that thinks that they don't have the whatever to be a successful person in your life or to achieve what you want, that's just not the truth. Your attitude, your actions, your words, your thoughts, your demeanor, and how you conduct yourself on the daily is what will get you where you want to go. It also is what has gotten you what you have now. So, what habits require change, or what habits do you require to create? What tweaks do you need to make? And what kind of a fresh perspective do you require? So if you are here in your life, today is March 12th, right? It's March 12th. And whatever has come before, however old you are, whatever you have done up until this point has gotten you to this point where you are today, March 12th, 2022. You have aspirations, goals, and visions for your life in the future of how you want it to be and become. And who you have been will not take you to the next level. Who you are being and who you have been got you to where you are now. So in order for you to progress further in the creation of your success and your life and the vision that you have, it's time to become someone different. It's time to look at everything with a fresh perspective and start really being willing to do the hard work and digging in on what has gotten you here and what requires change. That's like the self-talk that you're doing inside your head. That's the way that your house looks. Like, is it cluttered? Is it messy? Is it dirty? Are your closets filled with crap that you don't use anymore? Is your car filthy? Are you constantly negative and complaining and talking about what isn't working? Do you wake up happy, vibrant, and joyful to go forward into the day? Or do you wake up pissed, aggravated, and annoyed for all the things that you have to do, or all the things maybe that you feel like you're not getting done? I was thinking this week that people fail because of lack of vigilance. And what I mean by that is you have to be vigilant in your thoughts, in your habits, and the words that come out of your mouth. You've got to be vigilant with that stuff in order to create what you want. You can't have these great visions for your life and the success of your life and then go around nasty, complaining, annoyed, aggravated, with a messy space and a messy house and mean to people and unkind. Do you see? It doesn't add up. It's not authentic. In order for you to create real and lasting change, you first have to change yourself, because the person that you are right now got you to where you want to be. So if you want to make $100,000 more a year, you have to start asking yourself the question, who must I become to have the results that I want? What does that person say to herself or himself in the morning? What does that person do when they first get out of bed? How does that person treat other people? How does that person go about their day? It sounds like a simple question or a simple thing. It isn't. This requires real work on your part. It requires, like the notebook that I suggest that you guys always have when you're watching Coffee Chat. It requires you writing in your notebook this question: who must I become to get the results that I want? It's a deeper question than you think it is. It's like when I asked you guys, what do you want? And that's actually like the first part of the question, right? Because if you don't even know what you want, if you can't even get definite about the future that you want to create for yourself. So most people just go around annoyed because they're not happy in their current circumstance, or they're not happy with their life the way that it is, and they want it to be different. But they don't even know what that is. They don't get specific about the differences that they want to see. So if you want to create real and lasting change, number one, you have to be willing to do the work. Number two, you have to ask yourself the difficult questions and come up with the answers. And then number three, you have to be willing to put in the time and the vigilance to change your thoughts, habits, and the words that come out of your mouth. If success is 88% attitude, that's your thoughts, habits, and the words that come out of your mouth. Because all those things make your emotional set point. And as we just demonstrated with this emotional scale here, when your set point is low, you're attracting low results and low things into your life. The higher you can get your attitude, consciousness, behavior, demeanor, whatever you want to call it, the higher you can go, the better quality of things you'll attract to yourself. It's really quite simple, the formula. What isn't simple is the work that has to go in to make it so. People fail because of lack of vigilance in thought, word, and deed. That is what came to me earlier this week. And what I mean by that, vigilance, it's every minute of every day policing what you're thinking, what's coming out of your mouth, and the way that you're behaving. Most people don't want to do that. Most people want to complain, bitch, whine, moan, and have other people, suffer at the mercy of their bad attitude or they go off on a tirade or their complaints, or start looking at the way you conduct yourself, and then start looking at what's around you. Start looking at the way that people that you're hanging out with, that are in your daily atmosphere, how are they behaving? Do you have people in your life that are lifting you up and constantly talking about what's right and what's good and true? Are they enthusiastic? Or are you hanging out with people that are complaining about the price of gas, talking about what's happening in Russia and the Ukraine, talking about how awful the COVID stuff has been? Like, who are you hanging out with? Are you hanging out and talking about on the daily the possibility of it all, the possibility of the future, the excitement about what you want to create for your life? Or are you talking about all of the things that are not working? At any given time in the world, you'll be able to point to one or the other. You'll be able to point to all the things that are good and all the things that are working, or all the things that look like a piece of shit and all the things that aren't working. The choice every day is yours. And what I want you to see is what you watch on TV, what you read in books, the conversations that you have every day. All of that carries a vibration. When you are watching things like true crime and Lifetime horrible dramas where, wives are killing husbands, and when you're watching all of that kind of stuff, or the news, and like that's what you're consuming on the daily, and you're reading the New York, the Post or People magazine or the Inquirer, and if that is all that you're doing all day, every day, and then you're going to work and you're talking to everybody about what's wrong, and oh my God, did you see the price of gas, and oh my God, blah, blah, blah. That is all has a vibration, and all of that stuff is a low vibration. I have news. The world doesn't need any more help with low vibration. They do a good enough job on their own. Revealing Leaders, this whole brand that I created, and the Working Warrior Mom, is all about taking responsibility for your life. And no matter what the hell is going on around you or in the world, you are taking responsibility for what's right here, and you are doing something about that. We can't do anything about the price of gas. I don't know that we can do anything about Russia and the Ukraine. I don't know that we can do anything about the snow today, the bad news on the TV, all of that. What you can very much do something about is what's sitting right here with you right now. You can get off this coffee chat when it ends, and you can start looking at what the opportunity is for the day, what the possibility is for the week ahead, what you want to create for your life, who you need to be to create that, right? Where you direct your attention is what you're going to end up manifesting back to you. Positive expectancy pulls you forward into more favorable outcomes, and that helps you make better choices. So when you wake up or go around expecting the best, and you get yourself into that mindset that you're expecting, good things, or you're looking for the good, that positive expectancy has a vibration. That vibration pulls you toward more favorable outcomes. Then you start attracting more favorable things to you. Remember in The Wizard of Oz when the Good Witch said, "You've had the power all along," to Dorothy? I think it was because of the ruby red shoes that she had on. There is really no truer statement that I could give to all of you. You have the power within you now. You have always had it. You will always have it. You have the power within you to create the future that you want versus the one that you're settling for. In order to do that, there are certain tools to use. There are certain behaviors to emulate. There are certain thoughts to think. There are certain actions to take. You have to be vigilant in taking those actions. You've got to be vigilant in putting your best foot forward every day. You've got to be vigilant in policing your thoughts. I will be... Oh, yeah. There she is. There's the good witch right there. Somebody just said they saw the tail end of her dress there. That's my nickname. They call me the Good Witch of the North. That's been my nickname for, oh boy, almost 2 decades now. I'm going to be 54 this year. I've been studying success principles since I was 12. That's 42 years of doing this kind of speaking and doing this kind of work. I have done multiple seminars, communications training, Landmark Institute work, Dale Carnegie, the Sterling Institute for Relationship. I have spent decades understanding how to bring myself to better levels of thinking, of consciousness, new levels. I've spent decades practicing what I'm preaching to you. I still practice it. I have personally upped my quiet time, prayer time, whatever you want to call it, to 1.5 hours every day now, because I have some pretty huge places that I want to go in the next year, 5 years, 10 years, and I know that I can't get there because the same person that I am right now is not the same person that will get me personally to where I want to go. So I don't ever tell you guys or suggest anything, or I don't ever offer you something that I either haven't already done and come out the other end of, or that I am not actively doing now. My son will be 21 this year. When he was just a baby, I had to file bankruptcy. So for those of you that think I might not know what it's like to not have any money, that's not accurate. I have lived in some pretty shitty rat holes in my time. I have been broke. I have been scared. There's so many things that I have walked out the other side of. And I have done it using exactly the tools and principles and information that I am giving to you guys. And I spend my Saturday mornings 1/2 hour with you for free just because I'm trying to help, because I feel like it's my responsibility to pass on what I know. And that is why Revealing Leaders on the Working Warrior Mom brand exist. It is to give you the things that I've learned and the things that I know work, and just offer that material to you in case you want to change your life, because you have the power to do it. So you've got to be vigilant about your thoughts. You've got to be vigilant about the words that come out of your mouth. And you need, and I don't like the word need, it's a good idea to start to be vigilant about what somebody, I think it was Brandy or somebody just said in the comments, garbage in, garbage out. Whatever you are reading, looking at, watching, talking about, whoever you are hanging around with, all of that stuff goes in here and makes an attraction vibration and brings more of that to you. So you have to really ask yourself, how good do I want it? Right? How good do I want it to be? How great do I want it? Because really that result is up to you. It's always up to you. Just like the Good Witch told Dorothy, you, my dear, had the power all along. You have the power to create more good in your life. You have the power to bring about change. And I promise you, I am going to be 54 years old. Never one time in 54 years have I seen a circumstance that couldn't be changed by the power of prayer, affirmation, and doing the work in the places where people can't see, which is to say affirmations and directing your thought and putting in the time to move a circumstance that seems to be immovable, to move it in the places where people can't see the work that you're doing, right? So 15 minutes a day is my recommendation at the minimum for spending time with your definite plan, your blueprint of your life the way you want it to be. And we're going to start backing that up with, not only will it be the blueprint, but next week we're going to talk about creating a set of affirmations that go along with your blueprint, and then starting to create some, people call it different things, Wheel of Fortune, vision board, image book, whatever you want to call it. It's basically making images that go with the vision that you have for your life, the definite plan that you have for your life. So it's get definite about the blueprint, the plan, get a set of affirmations that go along with that, and then we're going to create some images. You're going to create images that go along with that, and then you start spending time with that whole body of work every single day. Minimum of 15 minutes. More time is better, but I understand that a lot of you have still young children, you're busy. You can't tell me you don't have 15 minutes. You definitely have 15 minutes, because I promise you that you at least have wasted 15 minutes on social media or complaining about something or somebody to someone. You can eke out 15 minutes in the day to start putting it in to creating the life that you want for yourself instead of the one that you're settling for. It's time to get yourself a fresh perspective. So if you're just joining us this morning, if you haven't caught the last 3 coffee chats, I suggest that you go back. This would be number 4. Go back 3 weeks and watch through or listen through. It's also on audio. Get a notebook and start doing this work if you want to change your life. Stop complaining that you don't have the life that you want, and start doing the actions that will bring you the life that you want. You have the power to create the change that you want in your life. The job that you want, the relationship that you want, the relationship you want to get out of, the family situation that you want, the income level that you want. You have all of that power. Nobody else is going to do that for you, and nobody else is going to do the work for you. There are some helpful questions in the notes. As I said, you can go to, there's a little bit of a recap in the notes. You can go to Coffee Chat show notes, and you can download those for free. So if you go to revealingleaders.com and you click right as you pull it up, there's a big yellow bar that says download free stuff. Just click that bar and it'll take you to the free download page. And you'll see the emotional scale chart that we created our own version of, and you will also see the coffee chat notes from March. And from revealingleaders.com, you can get to the YouTube channel, you can get to the audio, you can get to all of our social media platforms, you can read my bio, all of those things. All right? So you guys have a great day. Make it a great day. Remember that you have the power to create the future and the life that you want instead of the one that you're settling for. So we'll say goodbye to our podcast folks and Facebook fam. We will see you next Saturday morning. Visit us at revealingleaders.com and you can get all the free downloads that we just talked about here. And you can also find out how to watch past episodes of the Coffee Chat. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you next week. Okay, take care.